Hello and welcome to episode 7 of the No Hype Zone. I am Seth. This is Lance. Today we are on location with Darwin Wall here at his studio at Ball So Hard Real Estate. He was kind enough to let us use this for the day. Beautiful day outside. And Dar, if you want to just go ahead and give us a little splurge about what you do.
Sure. Well, thanks for having me, guys. First of all, I'm a local realtor. Our office is here in downtown Chandler. We're in the yard right now. We're in the office doing some work, watching some March Madness. But
of course,
happy to have you guys. And if you need local real estate stuff, give us a call. 480-726-2100. We got Instagram, Facebook. We can plug that stuff later. But there you go.
Sweet.
All right.
Yeah, we appreciate you letting us do our thing here. So
no problem, guys.
Got the shirt on. We got a nice little mural behind us.
So representing. Yep.
Right on.
Yep. All right.
Cool,
Good
man.
deal, guys.
Thanks, man.
Have a good one.
You bet. All right, so right out of the gate, this is
tournament time.
Tournament time is March 22nd.
March Madness. Let's get it on.
This is one of the most exciting times in the
sir.
sports year.
Yes, sir. People don't go to work. People take longer lunches than normal. They take liquid lunches. They rubbing rabbit's foots under the desk. They're doing all types of stuff, making paper airplanes, talking trash.
And just like Dar said, you know, he's got a couple guys that work with him, but apparently there's only 2 people in the office right now because everyone is at the bar or at a spring training game.
That's right.
So it's beautiful out here in Arizona.
Yes, sir.
So
let's kick it off. Well, we got today the big headline of the game is that Duke game. Duke, even though North Dakota State is not the team that, not great competition, but they might shock the world. They might pull
Who knows? Yeah, it happened with UNBC last year in Virginia.
Yeah.
So I always feel like the gap is getting smaller between the big schools and the small schools.
Yeah.
You know, they always say those schools that are like the mid-majors who win their conference, for example, like University of Buffalo or Murray State, or even like Yale, who unfortunately lost yesterday, because I had them in my bracket beating LSU. That gap is getting smaller and smaller, so which is why we saw that big shocker last year, UMBC, who beat Virginia by 20, which is crazy. But none of that has happened just yet this year.
Well, I would like to say that, let me first of all apologize to myself. I'm apologizing to me because I went against my own.
We've got a work pool going on right here. This is where the sheet we're going off of.
And this J.A. Moret,
Yeah.
He is so awesome. I see him as a future hype for me. I see him as being one of my favorites in the future because he has
He's like a mini Westbrook.
He has all the intangibles of all the guys that I liked in the past. And what did I do? I had a chance to pick Murray State for the upset over Marquette, and I decided to be a homer. I decided to go with my boy Marcus Howard that played at Perry. And I'm thinking Marcus Howard been putting on shows all year long. This is his opportunity to kind of shine. And what happened? Murray State wins. That was a big loss for me. That messed up my tournament a little bit. And then the Louisville lost. I don't know about that one. Let's see. With Louisville.
Did Louisville lose?
Yeah, Louisville lost. Louisville lost to Minnesota last night. They
That's
lost,
right.
86-76.
That's right. I got Minnesota in my bracket.
Yep. So, LSU, everybody was kind of wondering how they was going to play, especially the coach.
That's what I thought. I was like, oh, man, like their team's going to be down. Like they don't have their head guy, but they pulled it off. Okay, good for them. Syracuse lost.
Yeah.
God.
My goodness. That Syracuse loss. I kind of seen the way they played in the ACC tournament that lost to Duke, that it seems like you can always see how far Syracuse is going to go based upon how they play in that ACC tournament. Yeah. And it looked like they was just like falling off a little bit. And for some reason, I still went with them over
Baylor.
And Baylor got a good team. I don't know why I did that, but
I picked Syracuse just based off of reputation alone, I think.
Yeah. Plus being a homer, that's close.
Yeah, I'm from New York, so fair enough.
So
Speaking of New York, we are here in Arizona. My alma mater, University of Buffalo, is playing ASU in about an hour and 20 minutes. I have a $50 bet with RJ Orr. We're coming for you, man. I gave you the points too. 5 points. That was that's the spread. So let's go UB Bulls.
That's right. All right, and then we have the Villanova. Villanova beat St. Mary yesterday.
Yep.
Purdue beat Old Dominion. We kind of expected that.
Yep.
Auburn, Charles Barkley, alma mater.
Yeah.
They did pretty good yesterday. He was nervous.
He was.
He was going to lose the game yesterday. I was looking at little highlights of him, and that was kind of funny. He's so animated. I love watching
either. I don't have them going very far, even though they're playing in their own backyard just about. You know, there's a big deal about Kansas for the first time in 14 years did not win their conference.
Yeah.
Didn't do too well. I think Iowa State won the Big 12.
Yeah.
And everyone's kind of mad because Kansas got a gift by going basically in their backyard.
Well, but they run with the Big 12. They've been running it for the past few years. So my Final Four is Duke, Gonzaga, North Carolina, and Tennessee.
We have the exact same Final Four. It's so hard to pick against like Duke.
Okay.
And then you got Gonzaga. Here's the thing I have about Gonzaga. I always said, here's my, how do you say this? I'd say this is my hype on Gonzaga, okay? I feel like they are the Boise State of college basketball, where they make a lot of noise like, hey, you know, we should be, we're this, we're that, we're so good.
Yeah.
But you play in the WCC, you know, you play against, you know, like San Francisco, you play against.
But St. Mary's is a good team, too. They play against St. Mary's.
Yeah.
They play against those.
Didn't St. Mary's beat them in their tournament?
I don't know if they beat them. But you know what? Even though it's a smaller league, it's a league full of ballers. I mean, it's just one of those leagues that, you know, these guys may not be playing on the big teams like, you know, UCLA or playing for, you know, Arizona or whatever. They in their little conference is hardcore ballers in there. You got, this is where the Steve Nashes come from, this little league, and Santa Clara's and who else, the Delavadovas and all. You got these hardline ballers that would play, you know, and bleed basketball. So you don't want to underestimate those guys. They always a chance to upset one of the big schools.
And with them, you know, you've got all the big schools have all freshmen, where these guys have been together for, you know, 3 and 4 years. You know, they got juniors and seniors that represent their starting five. So that's the biggest thing. You know, you got Duke lost to them earlier in the year, but then again, you know, as teams go on, they get better and improve. So I felt like Gonzaga beat them because of their they play together for a lot longer, so they gel a lot better. Whereas these guys from Duke, they're all freshmen. You know?
They all just came together. They came in with all the hype. Everybody wanted to see them. They beat them in the Bahamas, I believe.
Yeah, something like that.
Battle for Atlantis. And you're right. That was an excellent point. Those teams, guys stay together 3-4 years.
And they're more experienced.
You got the cohesiveness of the squad coming playing together. And whereas these big squads, they get these freshmen come in there. Everybody, you got to first break down their ego. That's what I think is going through. That's what Duke is dealing with right now. Is that Duke came in with all the hype, and then all of a sudden they ended up losing a couple of games, or they lost a game to Gonzaga. Then they ended up almost seeing their season go to everything with Zion, you know, coming out of the shoe gate. And then, you know, and then on top of that, you got a chance to see. And actually, from that situation, you was able to kind of see the value of R.J. Barrett and Reddish, because now with Ja Morant coming through, they're saying now in the draft that it'll be Zion and Ja Morant coming in number 2. And to me, because of the way that the inconsistencies of R.J. Barrett, he's been putting up some numbers, but he just hasn't. He's a different player when he has Zion on his team. That, you know, I would say I would pick Ja Morant too. Ja Morant looks like he's so cerebral when he plays. Triple-double threat. I know a lot of people say triple-doubles don't matter, but when you got a cat that's out there just doing like Ja Morant did yesterday, I think you brought it up. He didn't even look to do a lot of scoring. He was playing the game within the game. It was beautiful watching him play. I don't want to use the Matrix, because Max Kellerman used that earlier.
The Matrix?
Max Kellerman on First Take used that term, and I don't want to use that term. But I have to agree with what he was saying. He was playing at another level, and he looked like he just totally controlled the game to the point where I'm going to do what I want to do when I want to do it. And his explosiveness is unlike something that we've been able to see in college basketball. You got they was even, earlier today I was listening to a sports show where they was trying to compare, I think it was Jay Williams.
I remember him from Duke.
Awesome analyst. He knows the game back and forth. He's not scared to go toe-to-toe with anybody. But he was pretty much saying that Ja Morant's game would be better in the NBA, in the current NBA, than Zion's game. However, all GMs are not going to go over Zion because of the fact that Zion is a freak of nature.
He's a transcendent talent. Like, he's the kind of guy that comes around once in a decade. You know, the last time we saw someone like that with that kind of talent was, I don't know, a guy named LeBron. probably.
But not in college. LeBron wasn't in
Right.
college. So I think the last time I seen somebody like that. And
In college.
In college,
Okay.
he reminds me of Larry Johnson. Nobody is using that as a reference.
I remember him.
Everybody keeps
Grandmama.
Grandmama was awesome. Grandmama, when he was at UNLV,
Uh-huh.
to reenact my man, I don't have a white towel.
Was that with Tarkanians?
Tarkanians.
Yeah?
You know,
Okay.
Tarkanian used to always have that towel all the time, and UNLV, they had Greg Anthony, they had Stacey Augman, Hunt. I can't remember all five of them.
This is like late 80s, early
Man,
90s,
I
yeah?
used to love the Rebels. But with that being said, Larry Johnson reminds me the most. I mean, Zion Williams reminds me the most of Larry Johnson because of his pure athleticism, his size, how he dominates. You know, Larry Johnson had some good years in the NBA until he got injured. I mean, he was slammed doing the grandmama thing in the NBA.
Yep.
So I'm looking forward to seeing him, and I'm chomping at the bit waiting to get a chance to see John Morant. I think that he's going to electrify the league.
Yeah. With that being said, who's going to pick first in the draft this year?
Zion. I think it's got to be Zion.
But what team? So I know they do that lottery system. So talking about conspiracies. Remember the conspiracy we were talking about yesterday, right? So a new one I heard today on the radio was, back in like 1984, when the New York Knicks got the first pick, they got Patrick Ewing. They called it the frozen envelope.
It was 1985.
84 was it 85?
84 was Jordan.
Jordan? Okay. So 85, there's a frozen envelope that people think that the NBA wanted the Knicks because they're such a big profile team. They wanted the best player in college basketball to go there so that the Knicks can come back to glory. They're saying the same thing now this year. They're going to have Zion go to the Knicks. They're going to find some way. The league's going to conspire to bring Zion to the Knicks. I hope that those conspiracy theorist people don't come out. Let's say that does happen. Let's say the Knicks do get the first pick. Because then again, yes, they're going to come out and they're going to go, oh my God, and then you got Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving going to go to the Knicks. Who knows? But we're here to talk about the tournament a little bit. Again, my Final Four is the same as he has: Duke, Gonzaga, Tennessee, and UNC.
Yep, I got Duke and Tennessee in the end, and I got Duke to win it all.
And my hype is, I can't stand Duke. But my no hype says it's hard. I have to pick Duke. I have to bet with my mind and not my heart. My mind says Duke. I mean, UNC played them tough. Even in the ACC tournament, they only lost them by 1 point, even with Zion.
Well, my hype is Duke, and my no hype is Duke. The reason why I got to say both of them, my hype is Duke, is because I enjoy watching them ball. I love watching Zion get out there. I love watching RJ. I love watching Coach K. I think the tournament would be boring without them.
Agreed. I totally agree with that.
That's one of them things. So that's me and my hype. And the no hype, I just think that Zion is just head and shoulder above everybody else.
He's a game changer.
A game changer,
Yep.
easy. And
and we can see that with Duke without him and then with him.
Right.
They lost twice without him, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they lost with
They lost
Gonzaga.
UNC twice.
Yeah.
No, but he played, that was the beginning of the year. I'm talking when he got the Shoegate.
Yeah, but they lost to UNC once. They beat UNC when they played them back for the ACC tournament.
Right, but they played him twice in the regular season. So they beat him when the Shoegate happened, and then they beat him again in North Carolina.
Right. They sure did. They sure did.
And then Virginia Tech beat him as well without Zion. So we shall see. So hopefully Zion doesn't get hurt. Just for the bracket's sake, I guess. It's a little selfish.
Yeah.
But
Gonzaga is still one of them teams that if they get there, they can be definitely kryptonite to Duke.
They could,
yeah.
And so can UNC. So in my no hype, I'm a huge North Carolina fan.
Okay.
But being in the hype, I'm a huge North Carolina fan. But I don't have them going all the way in my bracket. I have Duke. I mean, how can you not?
I'm gonna tell you this: hype-wise, and going into college basketball, the hype of college basketball, you want to see North Carolina, you want to see Duke, you want to see Kentucky in there. I wouldn't mind seeing Syracuse in there because, and if you think about all four of those teams, one of the things they got in common is they got great coaches. You got Roy Williams, you got Krzyzewski, you got Boeheim, and you got Calipari.
Right.
And it's just something about the leadership, or the way that they run, the way they run their teams. It's NBA style playing in the NCAA. So But however, we know that that's not going to be the case. That's overlooking teams like University of Virginia, who has always been really pretty much consistent for the past 4 or 5 years. You got, like I said, LSU, who has some talent there. They're just coachless right now. You got other teams that's out there. Purdue is a solid team. So it's anybody's game. Tennessee, we ain't talking about Tennessee.
Yep.
Tennessee
Yeah,
is
got
in
my Final Four.
in my final 2. So
Yep.
anything can happen, and I think that's the addiction of the tournament right now, because a mid-major can knock off a big boy in one game. In a series, it might be a problem. But in one game, that mid-major can definitely pull the chair from behind that big team
Yep.
in a minute and make that team just fall out. So
The positive side of that is it's great to see these mid-majors come up
Yeah.
and make it really far. But from the big money standpoint, CBS and those guys, they don't want to see that, because every time some mid-major makes it to the Final Four, their ratings go down.
Yeah.
So, but even from a fan standpoint, like, do you really want to see like St. Louis playing like Bradley in the Final Four? Like, of course not.
unless you're from St. Louis or you're from Bradley.
Exactly.
Like last year, I enjoyed watching Loyola.
Right.
Because that's from my time.
Chicago, yeah.
Chicago. I remember working Epstein, always passing Loyola, and it was a fun story. However, it was still like, okay, it's Loyola. Right? But again, it is what it is. That's the beauty of sports. So
Yep.
I'm happy that we got this tournament going on. We got to give props to Arizona State. Arizona State has had a heck of a year this year. Hurley is doing his thing.
Up and down and up and
But they
down.
doing it.
Yeah.
They
To beat
doing it.
Kansas and you
Yeah.
lose to some Division III no-name school,
Yes.
multi-directional school. So.
Sun Devils, go! I'm hoping that you
No,
guys-
because you're playing my alma mater today in UB. So no.
I don't know how to do it because I'm not a Sun Devil. I coached the high school basketball team, but I think is that how
Yes.
you do they Sun Devil?
Yeah.
Out here. So go
Close-
Sun Devil.
close enough.
Go Sun. There's people in Chicago. This is not a gang sign. If you're watching this is not a gang sign. Just gonna let you know that right now. That's a pitchfork. All
Fair
right.
enough. All right. So there's a tournament. We put that down. So now we want to do baseball.
Of course. Let's talk about big money. 430. 430.
Big money. Mike
430,
Trout signed a
430.
12-year extension
Woo!
for $430 million.
Big money.
That's
Big
half a billion. Do you remember when A-Rod signed his $250 million a year, or $250 million 10-year contract, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, that's a ton of money. Oh my goodness." Now it's like that dwarfs.
Yeah.
That's
like
you're
a-
almost double. And how long ago was that contract? Like 2002 or 2003 with Texas, I think.
It's
And then he was
almost
there
like
for.
minimum wage right now for baseball. To make
Yeah.
$200 million, that's minimum wage. That's it's crazy. It's crazy.
Right?
Let me tell you, baseball, I'm so proud of you. Patrick is not here right now. Patrick will get mad at me. But Patrick will have to admit, baseball is exciting. It's very exciting right now. I'm looking to see if Harper's going to live up to this 330.
I picked you on my fantasy team for the 5th year in a row. First, Bryce Harper. So do be proud.
As long as he got his head and shoulder or whatever hair carries.
Yeah, right.
His hair's perfect. He's good. All right, then you got my man Machado. I keep saying his name.
That's okay. That's all right.
Machado with Padres. Well, just because he went to San Diego, that means he's going to have a hard time because, of course, the Dodgers is going to be better than San Diego. In the hype. I'm in the hype. Not being in the hype, I believe that, Padres is going to have a pretty good season. I know that the stadium is going to be full. They said that they've
Yes.
sold more tickets now.
They already made like $3 million extra in ticket sales
That's
just when
worth
they
it.
signed Machado.
That's worth it.
Yep.
So being in my hype, of course I don't want to see Padres doing good. Being out of the hype, go ahead Padres. It's about time that you guys finally make a name for yourself outside of Hoffman and Gwynn. Gwynn was always one of my favorite ball players, but it is what it is. I'm excited about baseball this year. I'm looking forward to all the different moves that's going on, and because of the fact that we're doing the show and we got Patrick talking baseball and
Yep.
you into Boston Red Sox. It is what it is. I'm sorry I couldn't get out to the spring training game. You got a chance to go see the spring training game with your
Yeah,
dad.
I got to see the Milwaukee Brewers and the Angels play.
Okay.
So I was able to see Christian Yelich, the National League MVP from last year.
Okay.
Unfortunately, the Angels brought their B squad, so I didn't get to see Trout or Pujols or Ohtani. Ohtani, I picked you up as a batter in my fantasy league, so let's do this. But that was still cool. I got to see Christian hit a home run and get a double, and then he was done for the day. We left in the eighth inning was like 4-4. So it was pretty cool. So we saw a couple home runs. Mike Moustakas hit a home run.
Stock is always consistent. I remember
Yep.
he was in Kansas City Royal. He was a monster. So.
Yep. So it was fun. That was my one and only spring training game this year. 'Cause
Okay.
the season starts, well, technically it started a few days ago when we had Ichiro retired.
Yeah.
He signed like a 2-day contract with the Mariners. 45 years old.
Yeah.
Good for him, man. They showed up all his accolades. People kind of forget, like, not only was he a great hitter, but a great fielder. He has like 4,000 plus hits if you combine the Japanese league and the major leagues for his career. Rookie of the Year, MVP, 7 hitting awards or something like that.
Yeah.
Like he was a baller.
He was.
So good for him. 45 years old. 45.
But you can do that
Good
in
for him.
baseball. So today, the moral of the story, boys and girls, if you got a chance and you're young and you're playing sports, baseball is the sport to
Baseball.
go to.
Baseball.
Football is fun, but football doesn't pay you like baseball. Basketball is fun. Love it. Be like Mike. But it's not like baseball. Baseball is what you want to do. Or you want to play golf. Either one. Baseball or golf. That's my lesson today.
Yeah.
Baseball.
There you go.
And we got
Lessons
Sale.
with Lance.
Yeah, lesson with Lance.
Yeah.
LWL.
There you go.
We got Sale, your boy.
Yeah,
Getting
Chris
in your
Sale is
hype.
hopefully finally getting his deal done so he can stay with the Red Sox for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
He's one of the best pitchers in the league, has been for a little while.
Yeah.
It's crazy how a little skinny 6'4" wiry dude can get so much whip on that ball,
You ever
man.
heard of Randy Johnson before being
Well,
in Arizona?
right,
come
6'10"
on.
dude, throwing some gas.
Come on.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Sale used to be with the White Sox. And I don't understand why the White Sox had to go through Jersey Gate with him and,
I remember
and lost
that.
him.
I
It
remember
was
that.
the dumbest thing. You've seen the potential of him. That's the typical White Sox.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not a White Sox fan, so I in
Guppies.
my hype right now, I'm in the hype talking bad about them stupid White Sox. That was the dumbest thing. Let the man wear what he wants to wear. This man is a future Cy Young winner. As you can see, he's one of the best pitchers in baseball. And what do? Chicago White Sox? You just let him go away with nothing. Very smart, like my daddy would say. You are very smart. I'm not gonna say what my daddy's gonna say because it'll probably be banned from YouTube.
Yeah, right.
So we're just gonna leave that alone.
Yeah.
But they're good for you, White Sox. Good job, White Sox.
Well, the real baseball season starts next week. I have my Red Sox tickets when they come to Arizona.
Yeah.
I'm going on Sunday. That'll be Arizona's opening weekend in 2 weeks. So
Okay.
I'm really excited for that. Got 4 tickets to that. So
I only go to the Diamondbacks games when the Dodgers come to town. You know that.
right on.
I go see them when the Dodgers are here, and then the whole stadium turns into Dodger Stadium opposed to Chase Field.
I know, right?
Every time you go to those games, though, it's like that.
Yep.
Talking Stick Arena, it turns into Chesapeake Arena when the OKC is in town. Or the Lakers in town.
And he's the loudest guy
Staples.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like whatever. It's like you don't see the Suns jerseys, you don't see the Diamondback jerseys, you see the other team's jerseys. But Arizona, get your weight up. I still love living out here, and I love being with the teams out here. So I wouldn't mind seeing you guys finally step it up.
That's a good segue into the NBA here.
Yeah.
The season is coming down to the wire here. I don't know how many games are left. I think it's like maybe single-digit games left.
Yeah, I don't know if it's single. I think we're a little bit.
Maybe
above
like
the single.
10, maybe 11 or something.
So this is what we got in the NBA going on.
Wait. Do you want to talk your boys? Want to be in the hype or out of the hype?
Okay,
or do you want to touch that subject?
It's been really tough for me. That's how I ended up not picking Murray State because I got so mad at Westbrook the night before.
You see, how does that affect? How does an NBA guy affect that decision?
Me and Westbrook. I'm Westbrook's. I'm the #1 fan of Russell. Period. Plain simple. I've been on him since.
He's
UCLA.
in the hype right now. Not in the no hype.
I'm all in my hype right now.
Yes.
UCLA. I had the argument with my buddy Sid about who was going to be better, Russell Westbrook or Derrick Rose. That was in. He was playing for Kansas? Well, not
No,
Kansas,
Derrick Rose is Memphis. Yep.
Playing for Memphis, and Russell was at UCLA. Make a long story short, he's been living up to everything I've been wanting to do except get us a championship. And
well, triple doubles get you championships, right?
well, you know what? See, you're gonna keep throwing that triple doubles in the hype, and I know you're sticking. You go out there and try to do a triple double. It's the hardest thing to do. Period. You cannot. It's hard. It's hard. Yeah, to be it. You in the game the whole 48 minutes, thinking of what can I do to contribute? Whether I'm gonna get a steal, I'm gonna get an assist, I'm gonna get a rebound, or I'm gonna score some points. most players daydream. I played the game. I remember sitting in the game sometime and you running around, you playing after you get a shot, you wondering who looked at the shot, was my shot. So just to concentrate on the game the whole time and to put up those numbers, I'm never going to discredit those triple doubles. What I do have a problem with Russell Westbrook and my height, and this is no height, is when Russell shoots past 20 shots a game, they lose. It doesn't matter if he's 19 for, if he's 22 for 22, 23 for 23, they lose. The science behind OKC winning is him putting up the triple double with under 20 shots that game.
Distributing Westbrook is better than shooting Westbrook.
All day long.
I agree. I like that Westbrook. Where he's got some self-awareness when he does that.
Yeah.
But then when he goes into, I'm going to take over this game and I don't need anybody else mode, and the basketball is my best friend when I'm out on the court, which you said last year or the year before, then I agree. That's not the good Westbrook that Oklahoma City needs. So they need Billy Donovan to be like, hey, here's how we need you, but he's like afraid to tell his main guy, like, be coachable, be the coach him.
Or Maurice Cheeks. Maurice Cheeks is the Westbrook whisperer. So he can talk Westbrook. Westbrook respects him. Somebody needs to just tell him, look, man, 5 shots a quarter. 5 shots a quarter. That's all you need. 5. I don't care how you take those 5. And the problem with Russell is that he's so explosive, and he's able to get his own shot. Like the other night, how he played was awesome. But I knew that they was not going to win the game because I was seeing how he was, the volume of shots he was putting up, and it threw off the synergy of the rest of the team. And that's it right there. It's how you create synergy throughout that team. That's what makes Golden State look so sexy. That's what makes Milwaukee look sexy. That's what, I mean, the teams that are actually efficient is through synergy. One player is not trying to do it all by themselves.
Unless you're Houston.
Well, and you know what? Let me eat crow on Harden. Harden is MVP this year.
Yeah,
He's
I gotta
MVP.
agree. Yeah.
I was bored with him at the middle of the season, but since that team is third in the West right now, what he's doing and Chris Paul is doing is nothing short but sensational. Short of sensational. They are awesome.
Because what does MVP really mean? Break it down. Who has most value to their team, right?
Yep.
So you can, if Harden is out of the lineup, I can't name 2 other guys in that squad, but you put Harden in there, he's going to score you 30, 40, 50 points a game, which is great, but sometimes, like, it's only happened a handful of times where he's tried so hard or too hard. Remember the game against the Knicks, where you're like, hey, remember, like, PJ Tucker, like, the ball bounced off him off the inbounds because he's like, what do I do with the ball?
But see, that's what I'm talking about, triple doubles.
Yeah.
That's my point, that you can be so into the game that you're not in the game, or you can be daydreaming, and like PJ Tucker did, he was not in the moment. Whereas you got players like Russell, John Morant, those type of guys, LeBron James, they in the game the whole time. This knock that they giving LeBron left and right, I think is unfair. How they just trying to jump on him because he's not making the playoffs this year. So now all of a sudden everybody's trying to find anything to criticize him about. And as far as I'm concerned, the man is putting up numbers. Every day he's out there balling with his team. They just need to come off of it. Next year he's going to have a great year. And LeBron is LeBron. He's already paid it forward a long time ago. And as far as I'm concerned, for him to sit in this situation, it's embarrassing for him. He's the type of player that makes it to the NBA playoffs every year. And yet still you ask him to still care and be the face of the NBA, do what he has to do, and you get mad at him over little ticky-tack stuff.
Little things, and you have people who have been waiting like a decade to get after him, for the littlest things. Like, he looks wrong at somebody, and all his detractors are like, oh, you see, look, LeBron, you're so this, you're so that, you're so selfish,
You're chewing bubblegum off rhythm. You're doing, your blink is off. Something.
Yeah,
your hair is not cut even.
Yeah.
It's the stupidest things that they're dealing with LeBron with.
And we hold him to such a high standard that he makes, like we just said, he makes one tiny little mistake and like we blow way out of proportion. If anybody else does that, it's okay. But when LeBron does it, it's like, oh my God, makes national news. Like, he sat, 2 seats down there, 2 seats empty next to him. He's not a team player. He was talking to somebody behind him. He's not a team player.
Tyson Chandler the whole time he's talking to his teammate. But this we don't go into the politics and all the other stuff. We go into what's happening on the court. So with that being said.
But the Lakers are out of it. Just about technically speaking. If they lose tonight, then they're mathematically out of it, and then we can stop doing what the 4-letter network does and always finds a way to interject the Lakers into the everyday lexicon of their conversations. You know what I mean?
Well, the thing is this, Seth, and this is what it is. Just like how we broke down the NCAA, I understand, like how you do, that you don't want to hear the Lakers all the time. You don't want to hear about the Yankees all the time. And we don't want to always hear about the New England Patriots. However, these teams are loved and hated.
Right. And they move the needle the most.
They move the needle.
I understand that.
Whereas other teams don't, some people feel like, I could care less. That's why Milwaukee right now, Milwaukee is playing beautiful basketball. How many people can tell you the starting lineup on Milwaukee other than Giannis? And some people can't even pronounce his name. So that's why they don't even talk about it. They can't even pronounce his name.
Something like that.
So, but who moves the needle? Everybody's talking about the Lakers. Because why? They want to hate LeBron and they want to hate the Lakers.
Yes.
So with that being said, I'm upset that the Lakers are not in there. I was looking forward to seeing the Lakers in the playoffs. I would like to see Lonzo Ball and
he's injured.
That's what I'm
out.
saying. His dad did all this talking about, but I want to see him ball. I want to see Brandon Ingram. So
injured or medical condition.
So with that being said, I'm looking forward to next year with the Lakers. But getting into right now the teams that actually matter most, if we want to take it to the East. Toronto is playing outstanding ball.
Yep.
Kawhi's a beast. What he did to OKC the other day, he looked like a chef in there. He was just chopping up. I mean, it was.
That's a good analogy, man.
It was beautiful.
Like a chef.
He was like the dude from the Muppets, all day long. And it was funny because I was getting a text from my buddy Dave and my buddy Sid, and they was texting me left and right saying, "Now this is what a superstar is supposed to do." You can see Kawhi at certain times in the game knew how to score. He was so poised. He was poised enough to be able to get a shot or either create a shot for somebody.
Who are they comparing that to?
Of course you know they're going. You're sticking me with it. I know that. Okay, you trying to give me the hype, and I'm trying to be out of the hype, guys.
But they're trying to give you an example of, how to do it right, and having self-awareness,
Right.
Knowing when to turn it on, when to turn it off, when to get your teammates involved, when to not,
But Jordan went through the same criticism, and that's my whole thing.
Right,
Jordan
the same criticism, but then when, who's their coach? Phil Jackson came around and was like, hey, do you want to win scoring titles or do you want to win titles?
And Kobe
like
went
real
through
titles.
And Kobe went through the same thing. And Kobe right now is the philosopher, the psychiatrist for everybody in the league right now. So my thing is, that's the reason why I'm talking in two, I guess, time zones. Because not time zones, but two different eras. Because I know where Russ Westbrook is now, but the history of players like him, they do become successful. And
Right.
it's just, you got to just get past all the naysayers and all the negative talk and all the people who want to see him fail, and then you got to be able to still say, I can still make it. For a long time, my father used to compare Michael Jordan to Ernie Banks. He used to say Michael Jordan's going to be the Ernie Banks of baseball. He's going to be one of those players that go out there and make everybody happy, go out there and play his heart out, but won't win the championship. And sure enough, he spoke too soon because what it wasn't Michael Jordan, it was the system. All
Right.
great players want to play in a great system.
Right.
You take LeBron right now, LeBron, no knock on Luke Walton, but LeBron doesn't respect the Luke Walton. If you put him with Popovich right now, LeBron will probably have that same team in the playoffs. It's because of the system, the coach. So it takes a system to me, all great players want to play in a great system, and all great coaches want to coach great players.
So with that being said, then, do you think OKC needs a different coach? Someone who can calm him down, because they're in great danger of playing in the first round.
Yeah.
Golden State in the first round.
I do.
And then that's, in my opinion, that's a 4-game sweep. And then you're out of the playoffs again in the first round for the third year in a row.
Right.
Then what do you do?
So my thing is Billy Donovan. What I like about Billy Donovan is that he's improving every year. So it's kind of hard to say, do I need a new? I'm just saying, I'm being out of the hype right now. In the hype would be, yes, I want you give me Ty Lue right now who took a team to a championship. I'm not saying he's an XO guy, but he has the experience on taking a team from one level, taking them up to another level. Give me a Phil Jackson. Give me Eric Spoelstra. Give me somebody who can not only say, this is how you play, but I got this to prove to you guys that if you play this way, this is what you guys can get in the end. So being out of the hype, being in the hype, yeah, I want a new coach. No, actually being in the hype, yeah, I want a new coach. Being out of the hype, real talk, Billy Donovan has improved with the way that he's coaching Westbrook over the past 3 years, and what I've noticed is that defense at OKC is outstanding. Number one, it's one of the best.
Yep.
The way Paul George has been able to articulate himself with Russell Westbrook this year was awesome. That takes a lot of, game planning and strategy to have two superstars be able to play at their strength. You actually got Westbrook not shooting as much, and he's more efficient with the passing and all that. Where he makes his mistakes is stupid turnovers or wrong decisions. But again, so with that being said, I like what he's doing with the defense. However, I think that he would benefit by having somebody like a Tex Winter that have Phil Jackson. Phil Jackson was a good philosopher.
Right.
But he had Johnny Bach and Tex Winter with him. He had an offensive genius and a defensive genius. And that's what OKC is missing. They're missing an offensive genius and a defensive genius. If you look at what Golden State do, Steve Kerr surrounds himself with great coaches.
Right.
All great coaches got great coaches around them.
Sure.
And that's the one thing that OKC doesn't have. You got Billy Donovan, but you got Mo Cheeks who can talk to Westbrook. But other than that, you don't know who's out there. You got Mark Bryant. What did Mark Bryant do? What can he do? What does he bring to the team? So it's just a matter of a system. You look at Toronto. Toronto has a good coaching system. You look at Milwaukee, good coaching system. You look at Boston. Do I need I say no? Brad Stevenson knows his game. So you see how these teams are at the level that they are. You look in the West, Golden State. I'm still not a D'Antoni fan. I'm not going to give D'Antoni props. I just happen to think that he's just got
system
great players.
hasn't won yet.
Yeah.
Should have won in Phoenix. Then you got those conspiracy people out there about that one game against. They play against was it San Antonio or like LA? No, yeah.
And they got
No, it was against San Antonio. Remember when what's his name? The guy with the bad knees went out on the court when there was a fight and they suspended him for a game, but didn't suspend any guys from San Antonio. And everyone's like, oh, the San Antonio Stearns was what they were calling him back in the day. When San Antonio won that series and they went on to win the championship that same year.
Who was the bad knees? Amari?
Oh, yeah, Amari Stoudemire. Yep.
I thought that also happened with the Lakers too. I thought that they should have won. It was a series that they suspended one of the Suns players, and Kobe and those guys went on to go to the finals.
Yeah. And then D'Antoni took a system to New York, but he didn't have the players, the offensive guys for his system. And then now he's in Houston with one of the best, if not the best, offensive guy out there. It's crazy. And it's basically give the ball to Harden, give him a screen at the top, like a high screen, so I got bugs on me.
Yeah.
Set a high pick up top, and then
I thought I used my first aid CPR right quick. But that's exactly right.
Yeah.
You got Harden. To me, Harden is like a video game. He can mix you up. He's like a basketball DJ. He put you in that little mix show. DJ. He'll blend this over here. He'll make you think one thing.
Yeah.
He'll hit you with a fader over here. Next thing you know, you got an echo of a thunderous dunk. He got so many things in his toolbox that to discredit Harden is or to talk bad about Harden is bad. Yeah, you can throw in the fact that he hasn't been able to show up in the big games. That's the only thing that he has on him.
Well, they took Golden State to 7 games last year.
Yeah, but they lost when they lost Paul.
Chris Paul, yep.
See what I'm saying? So, but again, I'm done criticizing Harden. Harden to me has been very consistent over the past 3 years. Even the year that Westbrook won the MVP, Harden could have easily won that MVP that year as well. So that's me being out of the hype.
Yep.
So with that being said, talking the three in the West, Golden State, Houston, and
Denver?
Denver is still up there, but Denver, to me,
Utah? Denver?
No, Denver is third.
Yeah.
Denver's third. Utah is rising. Spider is so good.
Yeah.
Donovan Mitchell is on fire right now. Portland, Dame Dash.
Yeah.
Not Dash, but Dame Dollar. Dame is.
We forget about Portland, that Pacific Northwest.
Man, they lost McCullough, and Damon is taking the team and putting it on his back. He's one of the most underrated players in the league. He is money every time he touches the ball. I love his game.
Yep.
But Portland has found their way to stream up. OKC dropped from third all the way down to eighth. It's a good chance.
Well, they're not just yet. I think they're still like fifth or sixth, but like fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth all have the same record. So if they lose one, then they're and they drop down or something.
And
So
Paul George is hurt right now. So
is he hurt?
Well, he's not at 100%. He still has that shoulder issue. And you know, they was rolling when he was on fire. But
he was on fire there for a little bit. He was MVP talks for a little while, which I can agree with.
Right.
You know?
So, my thing is, with the right system, OKC can pretty much beat anybody. Without a system and just letting these boys go out there and do what they want to do, especially in Russell's case when he feels like, hey, I got to put the team on my back and I got to win it. He's the one player in the league where you want to see this in other players have this type of attitude. He's the one player that has to scale it back. If he scales it back, this team flows. His energy is too much that it throws off the rhythm of the team, and next thing you know, they're offline. They're not playing right. As soon as he scales it back, the team is online. The system is flowing the way it's supposed to be.
Right on. There you have it. How are you doing on time?
We're looking good. Another 4 or 5 minutes, and we call it a show.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Then in this next 4 or 5 minutes, we've had some NFL free agency stuff going on. You've got Odell Beckham to the Browns.
Yep.
I know everyone's in this Browns frenzy. Oh hey, they're going to go to the Super Bowl. I say everyone just pump the brakes a little bit.
Right.
Just on paper, yes, they seem to be an exciting and explosive team, someone to watch. But let's wait. They still have to wait 8 weeks for that running back to come back that they picked up from Kansas City, who they dropped.
Butter and Fig. Want to sponsor Butter and Fig. Butter and Fig. Awesome lip balm. Butter and Fig, y'all are awesome.
So let's pump the brakes on Cleveland just for now. It's almost like every year we're like, oh, the Cowboys. I mentioned the Cowboys, which I said I wouldn't. The Cowboys are going to do this, are going to do that. Always at the beginning of the season. And then nothing happens. And then, this and that. And we come up with all these excuses. Let's not put words or let's not put these people or the Browns up there just yet.
I got this.
Let's let it come. I know, which is fine, which is fine. But let the season play out. You know what I'm saying? What I can say is that I know New England's going to go to the playoffs again. But hold on, we're kind of getting off subject. Let's talk about the free agency. So we have Randall Cobb to the Cowboys. We have who else?
Everybody's leaving Green Bay. That's a
leaving Green Bay. Clay Matthews went to the Rams. Yep. So the Rams are going to look good again this year.
Mm-hmm.
We still have this draft talk where is Arizona going to take? Who are they going to take with the number 1 pick?
I think that we should get Bosa.
I'm in that camp as well. I'm in that camp as well.
But they're going to go.
But do you trade that number 1 pick? Try to pick up more later picks. Hopefully that's someone good that you need, like an offensive lineman. Do you need a quarterback? Do you trade that, or do you trade what's his name, Rosen away to somebody else, get another pick in the first round? I don't know, man.
I don't know, but
I'm not a GM.
So
to play GM.
To get to what you started off with the NFL.
Sorry. Yep.
In my hype, because he was all out of the hype at that point, which was beautiful. In my hype, if I can go to Vegas, which I can go to Vegas, I feel like going to Vegas right now, putting some money down on Cleveland.
12 to 1 odds.
I'm trying to explain to you that I believe that Cleveland is that team that's going to shock the world. The reason why I say this, getting out of the hype, is the NFL every year. The NFL is one of those leagues that parity is there. Anybody can win it all the time.
Yep.
Although the Patriots have found a way to break that rule, but because they're consistent and they're always there. But I believe that the Browns is a great hype for anybody right now saying to go to the Super Bowl. The reason why is because Baker Mayfield is a stud. He's a phenom. He's probably one of the next great quarterback GOATs. He has that moxie about him. He's consistent. He's aggressive. He can galvanize the team. He has everything you want in a quarterback. Then you got these.
You got some great offensive weapons now.
You got Odell Beckham and Jarvis, who are cleaners. They are guys who are born to be wide receivers. Yeah, they got dark sides, but all talented players have dark sides. All of them do. It's not one great player that doesn't have a lining on them that they do something stupid because that's just
they can't help themselves.
Exactly. It's like it mixes together. All the great players, they all got a little vice on them.
Larry Fitzgerald's a great player.
Larry Fitzgerald, he's one of a kind. You can't even say no. I can't even get.
Tom Brady's a great player.
Tom Brady drives you nuts sometimes. He jumps off cliffs and does a lot of crazy stuff. He has a beautiful wife, and he probably doesn't want to jeopardize none of that stuff.
Yeah.
But Tom Brady, he looks like he can push the envelope there too. But to get back to my point was, Cleveland has everything to me to win a championship, and except the experience of his coach, Kitchens. Is that who they got
Right,
now?
Freddie Kitchens,
And
yeah.
I don't know too much about Kitchens to talk about him, and I don't know too much about him to give him praise. So the thing is that I think that this team can still is a contender for the Super Bowl. However, you can't discredit the Patriots. Arizona, we don't know what Arizona's going to do. I'm excited about Arizona this year for the first time in a long time. All because, we got a coach. I think the offense is going to be great.
It'll be fun to watch, yeah.
I think it's Larry Fitzgerald's probably last year.
Yeah,
So I want to be able to, I think that out of any athlete that I've watched over the past my whole life, he's up there as far as one of those athletes that I respect on the highest level. He's a class act. And I just like him. Period. I like him as a human being. I like him as an athlete. I'm excited to see what the Raiders are going to do. However, they disappointed me last year. The Bears, they're looking like they're about to make a run. However, every time I get hyped up about those Chicago Bears, they break my heart. So, but we looking like we putting the pieces that we just signed. Clinton Dix as a safety. So it's a lot of things going on in the NFL. To me, this is the first time that we got all three leagues giving us some hype. You know which one league that's not giving us any hype?
Who's that?
Think about it. What's the fourth major team?
Hockey.
Thank you. You don't know nothing what's going on with hockey. And the playoffs is about to
Playoffs is about to start. We're supposed to have Caleb Wall out here with us talking hockey.
Thank you, Caleb. We appreciate you
Darwin
being
Wall's
on the
son.
show.
We're supposed to, I told you Wednesday that we're filming at your dad's spot.
Man.
You're supposed to be here talking about hockey,
Thank you,
but you're
Caleb.
not here, man.
Thank you, Caleb.
Where are you?
We appreciate
Are you
that,
playing
Caleb.
Are you playing Fortnite right now?
We're playing Fortnite. Very enough, you know.
Yeah. So we're supposed to have our hockey guy come out, our hockey guru, come and talk hockey.
Next week.
Yeah, we're trying to get Connor. He trains with us. He's our hockey guy.
Get my man Sonny to come out here and talk Pittsburgh Penguins.
Yeah.
So we get some hockey guys out here.
And then Ethan, I'm going to give you a shout out, my man. Ethan, who won, he's got a cup he wants to bring out for the show. He won. He's one of my hockey guys that I train. He won something state, something. So he's got a cup.
Go ahead, Ethan.
He's like, I want to bring it on the show and talk hockey. I'm like, bring it on, my friend.
All right, well, I got to give you guys the top 5 to go ahead. You haven't been on your game as far as giving us the top 5s every time we ask for it. So now I'm going to go top 5 best NCAA championship games. Top 5. So if you can go ahead and break down the top 5, leave it in the comment section underneath us, and make sure that you like what we're doing and make sure that you share what we're doing. We're trying to get up to 5,000 subscribers. So, make sure that you subscribe. Hit that subscribe button on YouTube. That little bell will let you know if we'll notify you when we do another show. But we want to thank you guys for being a part of the show. Next week, we're going to go ahead and go ahead and read off our subscribers.
Yeah,
And the people
yeah,
that's been,
we should do that.
Yeah, just kind of talk about the family of the people that's supporting the No Hype Zone. As you can see, we're moving and we're doing some great things now. And Darwin allowed us to come out to this beautiful facility. So Seth is going to go ahead and show you guys what the facility looks like. It looks like a little mini stadium for real estate folks. So that's what it is. It's like Chase Field, Chandler version.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, I thank you guys for tuning into the show and keep supporting us.
Yes. I'm not going to cut away. I'm just going to pick it right off the thing and just go right from here.
Let's go take the show.
So we're going to tour Dar's spot. Hey, Dar.
Hey, Darwin.
Darwin.
You must be
We're gonna go. We're gonna go find him. Okay, we're gonna go find him right now.
Find out.
Just gonna take the mic. Let's go find him.
I know that's the Caleb.
Oh.
Caleb's playing Fortnite right now.
Fuckers on spring break, probably